Hello class! Today we're going to analyze the story All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury for characterization. That means we're going to try and figure out the deep meaning that Ray Bradbury gives to his main characters. Don't forget, for characterization, the author uses how the character looks and dresses, how the character speaks, their words, the actions of the characters, what they do, their thoughts and feelings, and what others think and say about the characters to reveal to us, the reader, the personality of their characters. Who is the protagonist of All Summer in a Day? If you're not sure what a protagonist is, here's a hint. The protagonist is the main character. Still not sure? The protagonist is in conflict with something. Any guesses yet? Who's the protagonist of All Summer in a Day? You guessed it, it's Margot. Margot is the main character of the story and she is in the conflict, so she is the protagonist. And she is the one we are going to focus on to find out how Ray Bradbury reveals the personality of this character in his story. Now, there are several different techniques that authors will use to develop their main characters and help us to understand their personality better. Some of these techniques are descriptions, which includes any similes or metaphors that the author decides to use to describe their characters in a more figurative kind of way. The dialogue and thoughts of the character. The actions are what the character does, or maybe what they don't do. And also the reactions of other characters to the dialogue, thoughts, and actions of the character that we are studying. This is your assignment. You can do it independently, with a partner, or with your table group. Please skim the story, looking for different ways that Bradbury characterizes Margot. Use a blue to underline descriptions. So anywhere you find something that describes how she looks or how she dresses, underline it with blue. Use red to underline dialogue and thoughts. Anywhere she says something or thinks something, I want you to underline it in red. Use green to underline Margot's actions. Anything she does, or maybe even doesn't do, I want you to underline that with green. And last but not least, use purple to underline how the other children react to Margot. What are some things that they say and do as a result of what Margot says and does? Here's an example. Margot stood alone. She was a very frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years, and the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes and the red from her mouth and the yellow from her hair. You can see the first sentence is green, and that's because it's her action. She decided to stand alone. Her action is the standing, so I colored that green. The next sentence is in blue. This is a very figurative imagery description of what Margot looks like. It says that she's frail. It says that it seemed like the blue in her eyes and the red in her mouth and the yellow in her hair were kind of faded, kind of like when something is out in the rain for too long and all the color just kind of bleeds away. Since this is describing what she looks like to us, the reader, I've colored it in blue because it's a description of Margot's outward appearance. Okay, now that you know how to do it, I want you to get to work, you genius readers. Don't forget, use blue to underline descriptions, use red to underline dialogue and thoughts, use green to underline Margot's actions, and use purple to underline how the other children react to Margot. Don't forget, you can always watch this video again if you need help or if you want to look at the directions or the example again to help you as you work. All right, see you next time.